Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today let's take a look at the 2025 Ford F-150. This has been customized by Sherrod. This is a Deadwood Edition. Huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this truck for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This F-150 is finished off in rapid red, and with the conversion package, MSRP is just over $64,000. Now this truck is powered by the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6. It's paired to the 10-speed automatic. It pumps out 400 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque. It is rear-wheel drive with the four-wheel drive system. Weighs in around 5,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in around 6 seconds with a top speed up to 120 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 36 gallons, and you'll expect to see 16 miles per gallon in the city, 24 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 145.4 inches. Its overall length is 232. It has a width of 79.9 and a height of 77.1 inches. Now, as you can tell right off the bat, this truck is lifted. With that kit, you have a 6-inch lift, a set of 20-inch wheels, and the tires are 35 by 12.5. For the rest of the truck, not too many exterior changes. You'll notice up front, there's the massive Ford logo with a forward-facing camera. Lots of cutouts with active grille shutters behind those to provide cooling to the engine components when needed. This also gets a set of LEDs for all of the lighting and a gloss black trim surround for everything within that, which is a nice touch. Now there's also parking sensors, more cutouts in the lower section along with tow hooks, and a small air dam just below the fog lights to help better improve with airflow and aerodynamics. Of course, with this being a lifted truck though, you're really not buying this for the MPG. So with this kit, as I mentioned, you have the 20-inch wheels along with the Sherrod brake caliper covers there, which is nice to see. The F-150 badge has also been replaced, so that is one exterior change, along with this logo in the lower section of the door. There's a camera and a turn signal on the side mirrors. This also has the side steps too to help better enter and exit this truck. And we have the quad cab, very nice design with all of the lines that flow down the side. You'll also notice another sticker on the bedside there, which is a nice touch. It's also on the tailgate where the F-150 has the raised letters there with the inserts, which is a part of that package. And then everything else is normal. You have the backup camera, all the parking sensors, a body colored rear bumper too. There's also a hitch cover. This can tow roughly 13,000 pounds with a payload capacity of 2,400. And this also has an exhaust coming out of the passenger side, which we can remote start. So we'll double tap that and bring it to life. Definitely has a really good sound to it with that dual exhaust system. And then you can also use the button on the key fob or the release underneath to open up the tailgate there, where it does have the soft opening. Now there's no bed liner or anything for this model. You do have an auxiliary, some tie downs, the cargo lights. There's also a little bit of storage. And then for the tailgate itself, you do have these areas. You can attach clamps. You can use this as a workbench. There's a ruler on top. And then we also have the integrated bed step. This is not new from Ford, but especially with this lifted truck, that is going to make it much easier to enter and exit, especially if you are using this every single day. Now you do need 2 hands to release this handle in order to push it down. You can use one for that lower release, and then you can easily put this back in, and it's a pretty light tailgate, even with that step mechanism. So very nice. Ford has been doing that for quite some time. Now as we work our way to the interior, we have a lot of different changes for this package. All of the trim, which you saw on that F-150 badge on the tailgate, and then you have a dual setup for the storage there. You have another badge on the door sill, and then in back, take a look at these embroidered seats with the two-tone design. Now, with the F-150 in general, you have a lot of floor space. You can also fold up these seats, where you can do both sides independently here, and you also have this storage tray that you can pop up and fully extend. So you can have 3 separate areas or one flat area here with one underneath the seat, depending on the items that you have. Now you do have a grab handle with this big truck. It makes it easier to enter and exit. At 5'10", I can almost straighten my legs. There's a lot of floor space. You have cup holders, auxiliaries, and air vents in the middle. And then at my height, I have maybe 4 inches or so of headroom. So you could be much taller than me and fit in the back of this truck. Now there's nothing in the middle, so no armrest or additional cup holders. You have a power sliding rear glass there and just a lot of space. 3 people could easily fit in the back. Now you only have the lock button here. There's no keypad like Ford has had on some of their other models. But up front, you have the same trim accent window controls, mirror adjustments, lock and unlock, and then the same design for these seats. Really cool insert for them as well. So nice to see that. And then you have grab handles for your front passengers as well, which makes it very helpful. So let's start this up. Take a listen to that exhaust. Coming back to the digital gauge cluster now, you'll notice the upper section is all going to be fixed, so you can always get to that info. And then in the middle, you can scroll through some more information using the control on the right side of the steering wheel. So you have a few different settings that you can get into, and then you can also go home. So you can pull up some of this information in more details depending on what you need to get into. So you definitely have a lot that you can configure and monitor depending on what you would like to see. Also on this right side, you have your Bluetooth and tuning adjustments. And then on the left side, you have volume, voice commands, all of the cruise control settings. This also has distance pacing. Now you have the e-brake on the left side, along with a bed light, headlights, fog lights, even the spotlights for the side view mirror. So you can turn those on at night. And you have some dimmer switches with the engine start stop above that. You get a little bit of storage above this massive screen, where on top of that, you do have a shortcut to the parking system, so you can pull all those sensors up. And then with this screen, you can go through some information on the right side and still have info on the left. So really neat to see that. You can even go through all of this in just a little bit different of a design there. Now you do have shortcuts in the lower section, so you can quickly get through all of this. You can have favorites set up, and you can quickly get into those. You have different apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, various settings, and even features like zone lighting and your driver assistance. Now on this left side, you have a Pro trailer system along with the trailer braking, and then below that you have your four-wheel drive selector along with different driving modes for on-road and off-road, just depending on what you are doing. And then within that control too, you also have a locking rear differential. Now underneath that, you have all of your climate adjustments along with volume and tuning. You can even pull up the camera system and pull up several angles. So you can go through all of these as needed, just depending on the angles you want, even a trailering view, which is nice. You have some other audio adjustments, fan speed, heated seats, and some defrosters. And then there's wireless charging with a lot of storage. You have cup holders, more storage right there. You even have some storage in between the console and the driver's seat there. Now with this shifter, you can put it into reverse, of course, and bring up that camera system. You have drive and the manual settings, so that way you can use plus and minus, helpful if you are towing. You also have this button right here to make this completely flat. So from there, you can flip up the armrest, and now you have a nice flat surface. You can place your food if you're having lunch, computer, whatever you have. It's a nice flat surface. Obviously, you have to be in park in order for that to work. From there, you have a lot more storage with that removable tray there you can use. And then on the passenger side, you have two glove boxes. So you can use those along with the auxiliaries there. And then there's the rear view mirror. You have the power sliding glass and a sunglass holder too. And then here's a look at visibility, where it's pretty easy to see. It is a big truck, but you have a lot of glass to better see. As we sat off behind the wheel now for this Ford F-150, this has been a really popular full-size truck from Ford for quite a long time. There's been several different trim levels and packages that you can go with over the years. And with this Sherrod package, they've been out for quite some time. I've been able to review other brands with a similar kit to them. What's really nice with this kit too is that it comes with a warranty. So you can buy a modded truck from the dealership and everything is going to be covered under a warranty. So if you're worried about buying a truck, voiding the warranty, doing parts, things like that within your warranty, that's all worry-free with a truck like this and this kit. You also have the speedometer recalibration. There's a few other things in that package to make this ready to just drive off the lot and have peace of mind in your modded truck. So if you're not looking to do all that work afterwards, maybe you just want to buy the truck and drive it and you're good to go, this is a great kit and a great option to go with. I do know with the package too that there are some other customized features. I think you can get different wheels, different tires, things like that, just depending on how everything is spec'd with the company and how the package is put together. So you definitely have a lot of options to go with, which is nice. With the F-150 in general too, it's a really comfortable vehicle. With the 6-inch lift kit too, it seems to ride just like a factory truck. So I like that. With lifted trucks, the only difference you can tell is getting in and out of it because it is taller and you have a much higher outlook over everyone around you. But other than that, It seems to ride just like a factory truck, so it's nice to see that. And I was just in the Ranger Raptor. You have a lot more interior space with this bigger truck. So if you're looking for a full size, you want better back seat room, and it's not a big truck, but lifted, you know, it makes it a little bit bigger. It's still something that's easy to maneuver, but if you want a bigger truck, this is definitely a good platform to go with without going super duty big if you're not looking to get that. But nice, comfortable seats. I like these custom upholstery for them. Seating position is really nice, and I have 4 or 5 inches of headroom, and we also have a height adjustable seat. So being a big truck, obviously, you will have a lot of interior space. And I have the truck in sport mode. We will start off in second gear, use plus and minus down below. Here we go. And just a very minor acceleration. This packs plenty of power. Now, realistically, plus and minus is going to be a lot more beneficial with towing. Maybe if you happen to take this off the pavement, you can use that to hold the gear if needed. Well, this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the F-150. Everything is super nice. Really, the main difference with this package, all the trim accents are different. Everything else is basically what you would see in a normal F-150. So it's a great truck, something that you can daily drive. It's very practical for cargo space, towing if you need to, and just having a larger truck, especially if you have a lot of passengers or you have a lot of cargo in general. This is going to give you a lot more versatility on the inside and still give you a very practical truck. And you just get a lot for this full-size option. And then obviously with the lift kit and a few other goodies, you can really customize it to your liking and get a lot of features, different trim options, just depending on what you want for a daily driver. So it's definitely something that you can rack up the miles. You can be comfortable up front too. If you are using this as a work truck, a lot of people use these. I see them at job sites as a work truck. So you can hop in here if you're taking a lunch break or whatever and just be a little bit more comfortable. So it's nice to see some of the amenities that Ford has put into their trucks when you're spending a lot of time in the driver's seat here. So really cool option. You are sitting very high up, of course, with the 6-inch lift. So you have a good outlook over traffic and you can easily see all around too. So that's going to wrap it up for the 25 F-150. Once again, huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this lifted truck for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads, and I will see you all in the next video.